how much, Anna, materially has changed?
Not much has changed. I suppose what we think these will have a more durable legal basis. So it's reasonable to expect that these will actually last now.
President Trump has put fresh fuel in his trade war fire by imposing new tariffs on its trading partners, including us, the UK. The new levies claim to be there to penalise countries who fail to properly tackle forced labour. After the Supreme Court ruled that many of the tariffs imposed globally under emergency powers were done so illegally, Donald Trump had temporary tariffs put in place. Now those have expired. So in come the new charges of 10% to 12.5% on all goods across, and they account for almost all American imports. Anna Macdonald is Investment Strategy Director at Hargreaves Lansdown and is here to tell us more. Anna, good morning.
Good morning.
So, reading between the lines, are these new tariffs, or the latest iteration of them, really about forced labour?
Well, it is a very convenient, I suppose, a convenient tariff to have found. I mean, I think that it's the fact that they have come in today, so there is absolutely no gap between the previous tariffs and these tariffs, means that I think it's more of a sort of convenient use of a tariff that because there are sort of, if you imagine a bookshelf of various tariffs, they've just picked off another book and are using that so that there is no gap between the previous tariffs and these ones.
Yeah, so those targeted include us, the UK, China, the European Union. So we've got that tariff of 10 to 12.5%. These replace an identical levy that we're going to expire on Friday. So how much, Anna, materially has changed?
Not much has changed. I suppose what we think these will have a more durable legal basis. So it's reasonable to expect that these will actually last now, instead of having to find new ones to replace these ones. There are some exclusions in it that continue, so that Trump is aware that, of course, that the midterms are in November. So things like fuel and food are excluded. And I think that's to try and protect from additional levels of inflation and from his voters thinking that, things are less and less affordable. There's the same cost of living crisis in the US as there is here. And we all know how damaging inflation can be to political leaders.
Well, completely. What impact is this going to have on the UK economy, UK companies? In some ways, it's just a continuation of, yes, the tariffs and also the instability.
Yes. Well, I think the UK, is in a pretty good position because a lot of our exports are actually our services, and these are not, they're not affected by tariffs. It is more goods. And unfortunately, those steel tariffs, which are well above these, around 50%, they still remain. So that's very damaging for us. But that is a continuation of previous tariffs. So I think that it's going to be business as usual. Good management teams are going to try and work their way around it. And our message really is, for our clients, check, obviously, always be checking your portfolio, but we're not expecting a huge effect on markets from this. And we would always urge people to sort of stay invested and just ride these kind of waves through.
Anna, thank you for your time and for the context. Anna Macdonald is the Investment Strategy Director at Hargreaves Lansdown on those tariffs that have been imposed by Donald Trump on 60 countries, including us. Latest news.
I wonder what the response will be to that. I've seen a video this morning from Douglas Alexander, who's still the Secretary of State for Scotland, who is talking about the fact that also today tariffs come off Scotch whisky. US tariffs on Scotch whisky are being removed today. He, of course, says that supports our whisky industry and its exports to a key global market, securing growth both here in the UK and in the US.